I told my childhood best friend I was in love with her the night before her wedding. She smiled and said she already knew. That was 3 years ago and nothing has changed. I have loved the same woman for 22 years, and she has never loved me back. Not the way I wanted her to, not the way I needed her to, and somehow, I am still here. Her name is Grace, and we met when we were both 7 years old. She moved into the house next to mine in the middle of summer, and I watched her dad carry boxes while she stood in the driveway, holding a stuffed rabbit that was missing one ear. I walked over and asked if she wanted to see the frogs in my backyard. She said yes. That was it. That was the beginning of everything. We grew up together in the way that only childhood friends can. I knew which cabinet her mom kept the cookies in. She knew that I was afraid of thunderstorms until I was 12. We rode bikes to the same school, sat next to each other at lunch, and spent every summer swimming in the creek behind the gas station. People always asked if we were dating. We always said no. She meant it. I was lying. I don't know exactly when I fell in love with her. Maybe it was gradual, like the way a river carves through stone so slowly you don't notice until one day there's a canyon. By the time I was 16, I knew I wanted to marry her. By the time I was 20, I had convinced myself that she would eventually see me the way I saw her. I just had to wait. I just had to be patient. Then she met Jerome. He was a friend of a friend at some party I didn't even want to go to. Tall, confident, the kind of guy who walked into a room and made everyone notice. I watched Grace's face light up when he talked to her. I had never seen that expression before. Not once in all our years together. Something inside me cracked that night, but I smiled and pretended everything was fine. They started dating 2 weeks later. I told myself it wouldn't last. Guys like Jerome always moved on eventually. But months turned into a year, and then 2 years, and then he proposed to her on a beach in Portugal, while I was sitting in my apartment eating cold pizza and watching a movie I don't even remember. She called me crying happy tears. I told her I was so excited for her. I think I even meant some of it. The wedding was in October. Grace asked me to be there early to help set up chairs and hang decorations. I spent the whole day carrying things, fixing things, making sure everything was perfect for the woman I loved to marry someone else. Her mom kept thanking me. Her dad shook my hand and called me a good man. I wanted to disappear. The night before the ceremony, Grace and I ended up alone on the back porch of the venue. Everyone else had gone to bed. The stars were out, and she was wearing an old sweater I recognized from high school. She looked so happy, so ready for her future. I don't know why I said that. Maybe because I knew I would never have another chance. Maybe because the weight of carrying it alone for so long had finally become too heavy. I need to tell you something, I said. And I know the timing is terrible, but I love you, Grace. I've been in love with you since we were kids, and I know it doesn't change anything. I just needed you to know. She didn't look surprised. She didn't pull away. She just turned to me with this soft smile that somehow made everything better and worse at the same time. I know, she said quietly. I think I've always known. I felt my chest tighten. Why didn't you ever say anything? Because I didn't want to hurt you, and because I kept hoping maybe you'd meet someone else and it would go away. She paused. I love you so much. You're my best friend. You're my brother. But I can't make myself feel something I don't feel, and I'm so sorry. I really am. I nodded because I didn't trust my voice. She reached over and held my hand for a long time. Neither of us said anything else. The next day, I watched her walk down the aisle. I clapped when they kissed. I gave a toast at the reception that made everyone laugh. And when I got home that night, I sat in my car for an hour and let myself fall apart, where no one could see. That was 3 years ago. Grace and Jerome have a house now with a garden she's always posting pictures of. They're expecting their first baby in the spring. I still see her every few months for coffee. We still talk on the phone. She still calls me her best friend, and I still love her, quietly, from a distance, in a way that I've accepted will never be returned. Some people think that's sad. Maybe it is. But I've realized that loving someone doesn't always mean getting them. Sometimes it just means wanting them to be happy, even if that happiness doesn't include you.